Big Harris, we in here. You know what I'm saying? We got a good show lined up for y'all today. So what we gonna start with, man?
On the counseling, bro, why is it so frowned upon? And what are your views on counseling, whether it be marital counseling, personal counseling, anger management, whatever, man? What's your take on it?
I feel like counseling is 100% needed. I speak on from the point of view of a black man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we go through a lot of traumatic shit. You know what I'm saying? That we definitely 100% need to talk to somebody about. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of shit on a daily basis. It ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's friends, family, getting murdered, you know what I'm saying? But different shit, like as a whole. And so I definitely feel like it's 100% needed. What I feel like society make us look down on counseling. You know what I'm saying? Like, because in order to get counseling, you got to admit that you got a problem. And a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, we're afraid we too manly, or, you know what I'm saying, feel like, hey, I'm not crazy, nothing wrong with me. We make up every excuse to why we don't need to talk to somebody about the stuff that we go through. But I definitely feel like it's 100% needed.
Well, my train of thought, I don't feel as if I'm making an excuse. To me, I feel like I'm just uncomfortable talking to
Yeah.
people about the issues, or not even issues, just things personally that I have going on in my life, man. No matter what it may be, I just feel awkward telling somebody my business. You know what I'm
Because it's like, because we trained at a young age, like, bro, whatever you feeling, like, you know what's going on in your head, you know what's going on in your mind, like, you know what you got to do to fix yourself. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, we feel like we too strong. We don't need to talk to somebody else. Can't nobody else tell me what's wrong with me or tell me how to fix me. Only I know how to do that. So I feel like, that's how we look at it a lot of
I
times.
mean, but it's not always bad to look at it like that. Before you go into account, like you said, you got to know that you have a problem or there is an issue. And if you can identify the problem, shit, maybe you got a solution to go with it as well. So, I mean, is it needed? I mean, it depends on what you're going for.
Let me ask you this: how long you been in the army?
Going on 9 years.
Going on 9 years. So when you went in, you remember how old you was? What, 19, 20,
18.
18? I can imagine the type of like mental stress. I mean, bro, you ain't been overseas, you ain't been to many different countries, you ain't seen a lot of shit that probably take a toll on your mind, whether you realize it or not. When you dig deep into yourself, do you feel like you need counseling, or would you feel comfortable talking to somebody about just the stuff you can experience going into the military as a young man? You know what I'm saying?
I don't see nothing wrong with me. I don't look at it as if I need counseling. Like, of course, I'll be wanting that person that I could talk to, you know what I'm saying, vent to when it comes to stuff like that. But you just can't talk to everybody about the military. Everybody don't understand the lingo. So you got people that you work with, you know what I'm saying, that you grow and make bonds with, and you kind of vent to them. And that's your therapy. That's my therapy sometimes.
Exactly.
I don't meet that person, or I'm not sitting beside that person every day, but when I do come in contact with that individual and we build that relationship and that trust, because when it comes to talking about counseling or venting to somebody, you gotta trust that person, man. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? You just can't do it with any and everybody.
Exactly. Exactly.
What you got us next, bro?
So what direction you trying to go with the raising kids direction, or you want to talk about marriage and different stuff like that? What you want to do?
Let's go into the raising kids.
All right.
So the first thing I got, man, what is an acceptable age to like allow your kids to grow in an adult under your household? We got this thing in our culture to where
You
we
feel
kick our
like when you're a
kids out.
certain age, you got to be doing certain shit.
Right.
Like, yeah, and I feel like that. I feel like we go wrong having that mindset. In my house, how I'm gonna raise my kids, what I let you do, what I allow you to do, what rules I have, what rules I set, is gonna be determined by maturity, not by age. And I feel like that's how it should be with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people, I know how me at a young age, like my mom and daddy put the fear of God in me. So it's like, hey, anytime I left the house, I was calling, I was letting them know what time I was gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? If I was out a little extra, I would call, I let them know, you know what I'm saying? And they always knew, you know what I'm saying? I'm always answer my phone. I'm gonna always take care of my responsibilities when I'm out. I'm not gonna be doing nothing reckless. I'm most likely gonna be, if not the most responsible person in the situation, one of the most responsible. So it's like I was able to carry that weight at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some people it take a little longer.
But at the same time, it was like you were still a child, even though you was still staying in your parents' household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we need to get a clear understanding to allow our kids to grow into adults while still
Yes,
being at home.
exactly.
So I feel as if as a child gets older, the rules should change, and you should lighten up a little bit. Like you raising girls, so it's kind of your perspective is kind of different on mine because I'm raising boys. You
Exactly.
know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I don't feel as if when my children get that of age to whether they driving and stuff like that, I shouldn't have to call them every hour on the hour. I feel like it's okay and it's necessary to have a conversation with them before they leave the house. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey, you need to be home by this time. If you feel like you're running late, just give me a call. Now, if
And
that,
then you got some kids that's gonna follow that step by step. You know what I'm saying? Then you
yep,
got some kids, no matter how many times you tell them, no matter how many chances you get them, they're gonna do what they want to do every time. You know what I'm saying? I like, what do you do in a situation like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real question. When you get one of them kids that is like, no matter what you teach them, no matter how many chances you give them, they gonna fuck it up. Like, what do you do in that situation?
I
Like,
mean,
because
I don't have the answer right now because I really ain't going through it or I ain't got the experience. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I don't know. I'm learning as I go. Like I feel like I'm an okay parent, but I'm learning as I'm going.
This what threw me off, man. Like with my daughter, like lately she been coming in and she been asking me about like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and like presidents and stuff like that. And I know just like, me and you, we kind of like knowledgeable. We kind of know that most of history is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the part that they teach us and what they teach us.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like right as far as right now, that's the toughest thing I'm having to deal with as a parent because I understand and I read through the bullshit, but I never thought like how am I gonna pass that down to my child? Like what am I gonna tell them? When is the right time to tell her or what direction should I go? Like I thought about maybe letting her watch some damn slave movies or something like that. Cause at the end of the day, like seeing it is gonna be different than anything I could tell her or anything a teacher at school could tell her. You know what I'm saying? So
Me, like my kids, they ask me my take on certain things, and I just give them my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it may be on, like you talking about when it comes to school right
when
now.
it comes to history, bro,
When it
like
comes to,
that's the toughest
I
thing
would
I've
just,
been
I would,
because I mean math is never gonna change. Science is like never gonna change. But when it comes to history, bro, a lot of history is opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like and what somebody telling us and what they want us to know. You know what I'm saying? I never really thought I don't believe none of this shit. But when it comes to my daughter, like what am I gonna teach her? You know what I'm saying? Like what am I gonna tell her to believe?
you know what I'm saying? Just give her the same resources that you have, or what you feel in your mind and your heart is true to you.
Yeah,
I
yeah, you're
wouldn't,
right.
I wouldn't just say, "Hey, baby, what they teach you in school is bullshit. Don't pay attention."
Even though I be wanting to say that shit so bad, bro. Like, don't believe none of that shit. All that Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, fuck them niggas.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like I know it's stuff she need to know. You know what I'm saying? And it's stuff they gonna teach her no matter what. But with my thing is like, what do I need to teach her? As far as what my responsibility as her father, what am I supposed to tell her when it comes to stuff like that? We was gonna talk about this one too, bro.
Oh,
Like,
discipline your kid. Oh my goodness.
hold on, wait. Do you have to whoop your kids, bro?
Yeah. Not often though. It doesn't happen often at all.
Like, bro, I don't whoop them not even half as much. Like,
But
I be wondering,
you
bro,
got
was my mom and
girls.
dad just tripping? Like, what the? Because, like, bro, my kids so scared of a whooping, bro. You'll think that I beat them on a regular basis. Like, I mention whooping, they gonna start hollering like they just like I'm beating the shit out of them on a daily basis. But it's like, I'm like, dang, bro, like it ain't that deep for real.
Like me, now that I'm a parent, fam, the 1980, 1990 culture when it comes to discipline is just so far gone with me, like it doesn't make sense to the point where
Yeah, not at
like
all, bro.
now I'm just trying to like create a different image because I want to be approachable. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
Exactly, exactly.
because if I feel like me, I was a child and I got parents, if my mom or whoever disciplined me to the point where I'm like, it's abuse, I don't want to approach that person when I'm really feeling, you know what I'm saying? When I really
Yeah,
need
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
So
You're right.
majority of the time, man, I just talk to my kids in a
I was just
stern,
about to say it.
in a
I was just about to say I
stern,
did a lot of
calm
talking, man.
voice. And most of the time it get to them and they understand.
Yeah.
But when you talking about getting switches, fucking slapping them in the head, beating them in the head, like all that
Hey,
crazy.
have you ever whooped your child with a switch?
No, bro, I would never do that
I
shit, bro.
couldn't imagine doing it,
Me
bro.
either. I couldn't imagine doing that shit either. Like to
Like that
see
shit.
to
Like,
see
that's some real
flesh
slave shit, bro. I
removed,
really
like
feel like that's some real slave shit, bro.
yeah,
Like,
it is, bro. That shit crazy as hell, man. Like who the fuck will whoop that kid with a tree branch, bro? Like it comes
bro,
from
my
a tree,
mama used to have, but my mama didn't have switches. She hit us with sticks, boy. Like,
man.
but we don't need to talk too much about that on this. Well, yeah, man. But
Bro, motherfuckers used to get their ass beat, bro. I was one of them, bro. I used to get the brakes beat off me, dog. Like no bullshit,
if I really start thinking, bro, we probably got a lot of high school stories. Not just us getting out, like other kids that we know that was getting the shit beat out of their ass, bro.
bro. I'm talking about. I used to have like marks on me for like days, up to a week, bro. Like it's to the point where like I didn't want to tell my mama nothing, bro.
Like,
Like no, I had a lot of respect, but I didn't want to approach her about shit, bro. Because the way she disciplined the motherfucker, and I just don't agree. Like me being a parent right now, bro, I just don't agree with it. I mean, of course, it made me into the man that I am. Like I'm tough and I'm disciplined, but as far as like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's just different ways that shit could have been handled.
yeah, and I think about it so much, bro. Especially like my daughter just turned 7 today, man. Happy birthday, Chanel.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
But
Hey, if you watching this
she,
right now, tell Chanel happy birthday.
yeah, appreciate it, man. Y'all tell my baby happy birthday. But look, she get to that age where I remember. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was in first grade, second grade. Matter of fact, like I think I met you in second grade. But like, and that's what really made me start. You know, like now that she get to that age that I can remember when I was that age, that's when I really start comparing stuff. And I'm like, damn, what was I really doing that was that bad? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Like
so much.
the only excuse my mama got is just like you was bad. You was a bad child. Like how was I bad? Like you know what I'm saying? Like to be
Yeah.
fucking humiliated and beat like that. I couldn't have been that bad, man. Like what the fuck?
I don't know,
Like
bro. You did set the
to
carpet
the
on fire,
point
bro.
like
I don't think my niggas
this
I don't think
close to death, my nigga. Like niggas used to get beat this close to death, dog. Like, come on, I didn't deserve that as no child, man.
you are the nigga who set his carpet on fire, bro. Like I know for a fact my kids.
Hey, I was a kid though, bro. Kids
Bro,
gonna do
I
shit
don't
like
know.
that.
That deserves a beating, bro. Your mama could have lost everything, bro.
It
Like that
deserves a
that deserves
whooping.
a beat down.
It deserves a whooping. But bro, I got beat 3 times for that, and I got put on punishment for the rest of it. She took my whole summer, bro. My whole summer,
Hey,
dog.
that's one I can't argue with that one. You deserved it with that one, bro.
Okay, just all right, all
Even
right.
when you told me, I was like, really, bro? What was you thinking? I ain't never even heard of a fire tornado. What are you talking about?
I don't know, but we have been doing that shit all day. Hey,
Oh,
my homeboy John said, man, it was a part of our culture from slavery.
yeah, that's what I said. That's what I feel like, bro. Like deep down, I feel like that's where that shit come from. Cause it's like, damn, what you beating me with a stick? Where else it come from, man? Where else it come from?
It
But look,
gotta come from there. I mean, hey, Johns, I agree with you 100%, bro. I agree with you
And
100%.
look, that leads us into the next topic, which was relationship with our parents now. And I think we touched on this once before. I think you was talking about like what's considered disrespect, and what you can and can't talk, and what lines you can and can't cross with your parents and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, but we talking about adulthood, like you right now as an
Yeah,
adult.
yeah,
Okay, this is my take on it. I don't think it's disrespectful to talk to your parents how you would normally talk. I'm from the South, where I was raised in the South. My culture is you don't cuss in front of nobody that's older than you, your elders. You know, when your elders, when your grandma or somebody walk in the room, the conversations stop. You stop cussing. You explain yourself and a better way, because cussing ain't nothing but a lack of for better word. At the end of the day,
well,
that's how I
it's
look
a,
at it.
it's a strong form of expression, bro. Like you just strongly expressing a certain point.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
So me, like I told you, I remember like it was yesterday, bro. I was like 22 years old, man, and I was on my way to Michigan. I was on my way to New York with my daddy, and me and my daddy, we was in a U-Haul. It was a 30-hour trip, and my daddy just told me like, man, you could talk to me about anything, just express yourself.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it was just like my tunnel vision just spread open, because if I can express myself and talk to my dad how I normally would, then I
To
can
anybody.
express myself and talk to anybody
Yeah, yeah,
like I should be able to. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it's disrespectful to curse around your parents or curse while talking to your parents. But on the other end, I'm not gonna be talking to my mama like, "Hey, mom, you're a fucking idiot." You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say cuss
Yeah,
at
yeah,
her,
yeah,
but I might say something like, "Mom, I had to beat my son ass," something like that. You feel me?
yeah,
I would cuss within my conversation. I'm not gonna cuss at my parents. You feel me?
yeah.
I don't think it's disrespectful at all, man.
Like
You come from a different culture, though.
I was just about to say, very well, I come from a strong Christian family. You know what I'm saying? My dad's a preacher, my uncle a preacher, my granddad a preacher. So as far as profanity, like that's something I don't think I could ever get myself to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's just out of respect, and I'm not saying that to say it's any less respect that you show your parents, but it's just like me. That's just something I just can't get myself to do. But as far as my dad, like and both of my parents actually, like I do for 100% like feel like I can talk to them about anything. You know what I'm saying? And like I think that's one thing that my dad always expressed with us growing up. Like no matter what it is, like I'd never be mad no matter what situation. It's kind of like you were saying with you and your son. You just always want them to feel like no matter what, you can come to me about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
always be here no matter what.
it's just creating that avenue of approach with your children. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's not
and,
disrespectful to express yourself.
yeah, and like a lot of people probably don't know, but like even with my music, you know what I'm saying, with my dad being a preacher, like believe it or not, my mom and dad has never not once said anything to me about what I talk about in my music or how I talk in my music. Like they always gave me that freedom of expression. That's one thing. And I was like, like I hid the fact that I rapped for so many years just
Yeah.
because I was scared of what my mom and dad. And then when they finally heard it, they was listening to shit more than I was. So it's like, I really appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like it's so much that I don't do. It's so much that I don't say. It's so much like that I preserve or hold back just out of respect for my parents because I know like they really 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 went the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? To raise us the right way and to keep us away from certain shit. And it's like no matter what, I always feel like I owe them that. You know what I'm saying? I always feel like I owe my mama to like she raised me the right way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
I mean, I got the utmost respect for my mom, but my mama know me, and my mama know that's just how I am, and that's just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how I talk. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
mean, at the end of the day, I have my way. I have my way that I am too, but it's like I can never be that way in front of them though. You know what I'm saying? Like for some reason, it's like I guess I'm that one child that can't ever like, what I'm saying, drink in front of their parents or do
You
anything like that. Like
you say you can't drink in front of your parents.
I can't get myself to do it, bro.
Why?
I don't know, bro.
Bro,
I
I
don't
get
know.
drunk with my mama and my daddy, like drunk, bro. Like I
I
go to
probably,
the,
I
I'd have
probably
been,
could if I
man, my
wanted
daddy
to.
clubbed together, bro. Like, but that's just the type of person that I am, though. You don't do
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you drinking to you, well, I don't know. It's not like really normal. You feel me? Like I
yeah,
guess you
yeah,
drink occasionally.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got somebody
Um,
say that you are living a lie if you can't like bring yourself to do that.
hey, man, it ain't a lie. It's just I just give them that certain space. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and daddy on this side of the line, the rest of the world over here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just when I step to that other side of the line, I filter myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't help it.
I'm not gonna say it's wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just
You
me,
just giving
bro. That's just
yourself.
part of me that I just cannot change no matter what.
I just express myself how I would express myself when I'm not in their eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's just
yeah.
that's just me. You feel me? And hey, that's just how you conduct yourself, man.
Thanks,
Somebody said John said, why do you think you can't show that side of you? Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It's probably the whoopings. Like I said, like they done put the fear in my eyes. So and it's like I don't know, man. I was one of them kids that walked the line, walked the straight line. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they said, I did exactly what they said. And it's like I got older, and it's like, yeah, I know I had that freedom with them. I know they would be cool with it, but it's just like I just like, what's the point? Like I just can't get myself to do it. Hey, bro, I wanted to ask you, and this is what I was telling you about on the phone that I ain't want to give you no time to think about it. Your sons, would you rather send them to an all white school or an all black school? You had to choose one.
If I had to choose.
It got to be one of
So send them to an all white school or all black school.
them.
Uh, Statistics matter. If the all white school was a 2-star school and the all black
Oh,
school was a 5-star school, it's different things that weigh in. I'm not sending my son to school by the race background. I
but
would
see,
rather
this is
send them to an all black school. I wouldn't rather send them to an all white school.
no, but this is why I brought this up. This is the situation that I be faced with. I'm in Atlanta, and me and my wife we looking for houses and stuff like that. And it's like a lot of these. Like at first, when we first started searching for houses, we was just going based off the number. You know what I'm saying? And we'll find a school that's a 10 out of 10, and we like, oh yes, we love the house. The school is a 10 out of 10. Like we good to go. But then when we dig deeper and start looking into the like the ethnics of the school or the race of the school or whatever, and the balance or whatever, it's like 99% white, 2% Asian, and 1% black. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that. And
To be honest, bro, kids nowadays don't even look at race like that. From my experience, how I would see, because my 4-year old, some of the kids that he play around and be around every day are the white kids in class, and it's a
oh,
mixed class. You know what I'm saying? My 6-year old, some of his friends are white, some of his friends are black. It all depends on what they all like to do together. You feel me? I don't think that these kids are going to school and thinking that I can't
oh,
do this
hey, oh, you black. Okay, let me say
white
this.
and black thing.
Okay, yeah, they not saying that right now. You just said you got a 4 year old and a 6 year old, right? They not looking at it now. But what about when they get, or even at the age of 7, like my daughter, and when she started learning about slavery and stuff like that, and everybody turn around,
And looking
you
at
see
her
class full of white kids,
oddly,
they turn around looking like, oh, I was a slave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when it started mattering. Like, yeah, of course, when they're at the younger age, it's not important. But
I
and
don't know, man. I really
I'm an academic person. Like at the end of the day, I don't know if it's just a male thing or what, but like I don't be caring about color. Like I be like, shit, this the top one of the top schools in the state. Like, bruh.
yeah. I honestly I can't even because my I don't know, bro. Like
And it's
I think
and my
Cinco is
wife.
at a predominantly black school right now, and there
And
have
see,
been some issues, but
and,
I'm not I don't know, man.
yeah, that's a
I
good question.
wouldn't.
And see, me and my wife go back and forth because you know what kind of school Mumford was. It was like, it was a little mixed, but I'd say probably 60-40. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Shit,
like
I'd
so.
say 70-30.
Okay, and then you got my wife who came from an all black school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I see a school that's 10 out of 10. I don't care if it's white, bro. That's one of the top schools in the state. But she from an all black school. She like, no, I ain't sending my baby up there. And she make a good point because at the end of the day, she most likely she gonna be the one going to the little parent teacher conferences and stuff like that, feeling like the little awkward, the only awkward as black lady in the class. You know what I'm saying? So she be pointing at stuff like that out to me, like, bro, I'm gonna be the one that gotta go to Walmart, you know what I'm saying? Go shopping, go grocery shopping, you know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna have to deal with a lot of stuff that's gonna come with that. But
Yeah. My boy commented, he said, well, if you're black, they will experience that culture through family. They will be well-rounded if they went to a white school. You got a point.
that is a good point.
That is a valid point, bro. Valid point.
Me and my wife always go back and forth, and then I always end up giving in because I'm like, at the end of the day, you can find another school that's is just as good as this school, like an 8 or a 9. You know what I'm saying? But in the back of my mind, I just be thinking like, damn, like that 10 or you know what I'm saying?
It also depends on like what type of economy you in. You know what I'm saying? Like if you in a country Timbuktu town, you feel me?
Hell, no.
Of course, I don't want my
Hell,
kids to go to that school.
yeah, hell yeah, that's different.
But if you had
We in
something
the
like,
city though.
I don't know, bro. I ain't really got no opinion
Yeah,
about it.
I thought I was gonna stump you with that question though. That's why I couldn't wait to ask you online so I could get your actual reaction because I know it's probably something you ain't never thought about.
I haven't, bro. I haven't thought about that shit at all, dog.
You want to go ahead and hit this marriage discussion real quick?
Yeah, in your opinion, like, when is marriage ideal?
Uh, Let me see. When is marriage ideal? When are we taught that marriage is ideal?
We not. We not taught that it's ideal.
I feel like it's two answers to that.
Uh-huh.
It's a religious answer, and then it's an Ant Cook answer. And I feel like the Ant Cook answer is the complete opposite from the religious answer. For one, I feel like you should live with a person before you marry them, man.
Okay.
And
That's
and we're taught the complete opposite. And I know that's wrong, but
I
it's
was taught
like,
that. I was taught that you should live with a person. This is me speaking through experience. All right. It shouldn't even happen in your 20s at all. You know what I'm saying? It's a 30 plus decision. I remember I told you I went to this parenting class, and part of the parenting class, the woman hit on a marriage topic, and she said, "Ideal, the average man is not ready for marriage until 32, because through that 18 to 24 time frame, that man is just finding himself. He's just living life, living reckless, uh, getting in debt. That's your college years. You know what I'm saying? We all know what happens or what you go through in college financially and mentally. That 25, 26, 27, that 25 through 29 age is when the man is fixing his 18 to 24-year-old self. So from 25 to 29, you fixing yourself from your earlier years. So from 30 on up is when a man is really ready to step up and be married. A lot of us, we weren't even taught on how to be a husband, how to be a wife, how to be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like me growing up, bro, I ain't know how to be a boyfriend, be a girlfriend. I wasn't taught faithfulness. I wasn't taught fucking one womanness. You know what I'm saying? It was
this
just
nigga said one woman. This
no, like dead ass. It was just like you fucking get
It was
multiple.
kind of the opposite. Like, get as many girls as you can.
Yeah, get as many girls as you can. Fucking live your
Yeah,
life. That's what I
yeah.
was taught. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody set me down and talked to me like, "Hey son, hey nephew," or "Hey pig."
If they did, would you have listened?
I mean, yeah. It's all. I don't like me growing up. I don't think that I tuned anybody out.
Yeah,
Anybody that ever sat down with me, I never tuned them out and said, "Man, fuck what you saying," or "I don't care
yeah.
what you talking." Nobody ever sat me down or sat anybody down that I know and taught them how that side of life works. Or nobody ever said, hey man, don't get married at this age. Wait till you this age.
When me and my wife, well, like it just depends. Like if you're a religious person, and like I said, I come from a religious family, so when I got married, like my uncle set me and my wife down, and we went through a whole counseling session where he basically laid out everything. And bro, like at the end of the day, it's almost like it's something that you got to experience. Like it's like no matter how many times somebody tell you the way it's supposed to be done, and the best way to do it, you're gonna always do the opposite. I ain't gonna say you're gonna always do the opposit, but
You're
it's
gonna do it
like
your way.
you never gonna understand until you do it your way and fail, and then you land on the ground like, dang, bro, maybe I need to try it this other way. Maybe he was right. Maybe like, dang, I see what he meant when he said certain things throughout the counseling session, and it's like I definitely feel like it is possible though.
Like to my getting married earlier
Yeah,
and it being
yes,
fruitful.
like
Yeah, of course. All it takes is somebody
because
you
marriage,
learning.
marriage
That's
is a
the
bond.
point
You know
of
what
the
I'm saying?
conversation is nobody was ever taught at a young age, so motherfuckers don't know what to do
Yeah.
or how to do it, or you know what I'm saying.
Do you feel like marriage is supposed to fail?
No, when I think of
Because
marriage,
if
bro,
marriage
I
is
think
supposed to fail, then what is the point of
no,
getting married?
no. My thing is, I feel like marriage is supposed to be peaches and fucking cream, bro. Like Skittles and the rainbow. When I think like that's how I want it to be.
When you get married, you gotta be ready. You like your level of commitment gotta be on a whole another like stratosphere, bro. Because the point of being committed, bro, like you gonna go through shit and you gonna stick with what you know what I'm saying, you made that original commitment to. If you don't have that level of maturity and that mind state prepared, like, bro, everything is not gonna be peaches and cream.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I know now. My point is, as shorties, as little, you know what I'm saying, growing
Yeah,
little young men growing up, nobody sat a motherfucker down and was like, look, marriage is not gonna be peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight. You feel me? Like what a motherfucker know now. So why don't you think that like young men like aren't being coached or young women aren't being coached on how to be wives and husbands, bro? Like I feel like it's so necessary. I feel like we're not being coached because most people just automatically expect it to fail.
people don't, yeah, and they expect it to fail because they don't understand the level of commitment that it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like you go into a marriage thinking like, oh, I'm married, all my problems, all my troubles go away. No, that's when it start. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when it's like that's when you get tested the most. You feel me? You gotta be ready for that level of commitment to stick it out.
All right, we got another comment. You can't be coached to be a good spouse. A good spouse has to learn the one they are with to be a good spouse. That goes back to those years of learning who you are first.
Exactly. That's
Facts.
some real shit. Yeah.
I can't disagree with that at all.
That's why it's like, and that go back to the kids, bro. Like I have two girls, so it's like my wife always say all the time, like I don't want my girls to be heartbroken. I don't want them to know what it's like to be heartbroken and to be cheated on or to be walked out on and this and that. And I try to explain to her like, bro, at the end of the day, you can't control that. That's not something you control. That's life. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna happen to anybody and everybody, regardless of, you know what I'm saying. Everybody can say, I never want my child to experience a heartbreak or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's our responsibility as parents to give our kids the necessary tools
The
and the
tools.
necessary like, yeah, to like handle that shit when they go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to be strong and like you like the lady that come in and said, like to know who you are. So when you do go through that stuff, it don't break you down. You strong enough to get through that shit.
All right,
All
so
right.
the conversation that you was chiming in on, bro, is like the would you want your kids to be an all white school or all black school? So what's your
Got
take on that?
So before we came to Tennessee, my kids was in pretty much a predominantly black school in Augusta. My kids, they not saints, but they more of the well behaved type of kid. You know what I mean? So a lot of people who was around them was just doing a lot of extra stuff, and my kids would come home with these stories about just craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the focus was so much on correcting behaviors, the kids wasn't really learning what they needed to learn. So when they would come home, we would have to cover a lot of stuff to make sure they was, keeping up with what they needed to learn. The black school, I mean, the behavior is so crazy that the kids was lacking. Now we in Tennessee, and the school is more predominantly white, and it's just a different side of the spectrum. I mean, the school is nice, the people are happy. You know what I mean? It was like day and night. Now, maybe if the school was a little bit well behaved, you know what I'm saying, on the black side, then I probably would have been able to get a better feel for the all black school. But seeing the two, man, all white school is where it's at.
Yeah.
That's what I'm leaning toward.
So even if when it comes to like the academic portion, you feel as if the all white school is still like where you want to be. Because I see where you coming from when you talk about like the behavior. Because
Yeah,
behavior when it comes to black schools and white schools is like this shit is night and day, bro. Like when it comes
it's
to
the opposite.
kids acting out, profanity, uh,
Yeah,
like all type. You can go on and on, bro. Like all types of.
right. Yeah, it's different. And then just like the funding too, like when my kids would go to school at the all black school, when I would go to eat lunch with them, the food they would feed these kids is like, yo, y'all in prison. Like
For
this look
real?
like jail food. Like this don't look like nothing. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you had your kids at home and you fed them lunch, you wouldn't feed them the same stuff that they feed these kids at school. Not saying you cooking a steak, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really going all out, but just the food they would be feeding these kids is kind of like, yo, y'all can't do nothing better than this. And seeing where they at school now, yeah, the lunch is a little bit more pricey, but the food is it's man, it's day and night. It's different. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro. That's
It's
crazy.
different.
Let me get my boy Ant in here.
All right. So another thing that I had noticed was just like the books and the material that the kids use being in the all black school. It just seemed like I don't know what they did with the funding. Like they never really did a lot of fundraisers at the black school. You know what I mean? They just expected people to just kind of have money to kind of help provide for the school, but it's just different, man. Like the black culture, we got to do better by conducting ourselves so we can get what we're supposed to get out of life. You know what I mean? And not constantly living up to the stereotypical things that are in the press about us. You know what I mean?
And like, but with that being said, where do they get that culture from though? Where do they learn about themselves? Why they going to this all white school? And it's like, dang, you don't have that balance that you need to like, because you want your child to know who they are at the end of the day.
Right.
You just want them to get a better than average education. And it's like, it's sad the fact that we even got to talk like this. Like
Yeah.
we should be able to sit here and like say, you know what I'm saying, and with confidence, like I know for a fact they're gonna get the same level of education, if not better, going to an all black school, but it's not like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
That's sad.
I feel what you're saying, man. Most definitely. I know a lot of where when it comes to teaching my kids, where they come from, me and my wife, we just we a good balance to where we just try to instill everything in them that we didn't have growing up. And so far, I mean, I think we're doing a fairly decent job, but I think it's the parents' responsibility to educate their children. I think a lot of people rely heavily on the schools to teach their kids how to read, write, and
Yeah,
them,
man.
strengthen their abilities to do things. But that's really the parent job. The school is just a kind of a help along the way.
You will be amazed the difference in just taking 30 minutes a day out
Yep.
with your kids just to help them just say a couple of words with them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
30 minutes a day, and it's gonna make a huge difference.
that's true,
Like
bro.
just that extra, learning that at home is a big difference.
That's
She's
pretty
reading
much
now.
what somebody just said right now, man. It said because Sarah May, she a recruiter right now, so she deal with a lot of teenagers. Shit, you too, Sarah John. She deal with a lot
Yeah,
of
true.
teenagers or whatever from different ethnic backgrounds. And she said recruiting these kids, their future is not bright, no real plan at all. But when I'm at white schools, these kids are focused on college and they have a plan. Which is true, and that I think that goes into what they learn at home. You know what I'm saying? What they're
Yeah.
being taught.
That's crazy because right now I'm in the area doing recruiting where a lot of these people they wealthy, they well off, and they kids don't care about going to college. All they want to do is just hang out and let they family support whatever they do. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of it has to do with your background, where you live, and how well off your family is. Because man, these kids out here, I don't care about no college in the army providing you with this. Man, them kids don't care. They live in the mountains. You know what I mean? They can't even get Wi-Fi at their house. That's how far in the mountains they live. You know what I'm saying? No company want to provide internet to them because they're just that far away. A lot of it comes from, man, where you come from, your background, like y'all was saying, the culture.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting input, man.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for letting me jump in on the video.
Oh yeah, man. You welcome. You're welcome to come back up here, man. Anytime.
Next time, look. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this computer stuff straight. Cause man, I got this dang computer. I don't even know how to use it for real. I just use the phone, man. I don't even use this computer stuff. This is.
Man, you locked in now, so anytime, man. Just come on.
Hey man, I didn't mean to come off as disrespectful when I said you were living a lot earlier. I know through text message you might, misconstrue.
Oh, no, man. Not at all.
Because I was the same way, bro. When I was younger, I was that kid who I didn't want to do no wrong in front of my parents. Yeah. But I realized.
Let me ask you this. What you saying that, when was the turning point? Do you remember the exact point where you was like, I ain't hiding this shit no more?
Yep. I got you.
It was that.
So the turning point just recently happened, I say probably about 6 months ago. And I was just tired. Actually, my wife was the one who called me out on it. She was like, you continue to let these people call you and rely on you for advice, blah, blah, blah. Then you get off the phone and you're not even keeping it real with these people. Yeah. So, I was just kind of, how can I say this? They would call me and just pretty much dump. They just dump all their, dump all their problems.
Yeah.
And I would try to give them a little bit of advice.
Don't tell me one day you just snapped.
Well, a little bit, just a little bit. I snapped a little bit, and they just, they didn't understand where it was coming from. When it was all said and done, I wasn't really vocalizing how I felt about a lot of stuff.
So you had to go back and just, look, I've been feeling like this for a while. I've been holding it in.
When I did it, man, family members cut me off. They felt like I was attacking them. You know what I'm saying? But the way I saw it was, I wasn't going to I don't let myself put up with my own BS. So I wasn't going to take it from them. You know what I mean? Yeah, and when I started to vocalize that, they felt like I was attacking them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they left me alone. And in a sense, that did me a favor because I didn't need that energy in my space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't need it.
So when you finally you came out, like, did you feel different? Like I said, when I was able to express myself to my dad, it opened up my vision to how I can express myself to anybody throughout the world. Like, once I was able to talk to my dad and express myself how I would normally do, I feel like it opened up a whole different vision of me being able to talk to person A or person B without a filter.
A whole different confidence.
Right. It gave me a whole different confidence, man.
I agree. A lot of times people will kind of say I was disrespectful. So I kind of worked on my pitch and the way I delivered certain messages. You know what I mean? Because when you communicating through emotion, it's going to come out a little sideways. So you got to learn to be able to communicate to the people effectively and not be offensive. So I had to kind of work on that a little bit. And then once I got that straight, people started to come back around because they realized that the stuff that I was saying was things that they needed to hear it. Like I said, they were saying it was disrespectful at first. Yeah. But once I kind of tweaked it a little bit, release that stuff, man. I just release it. If it don't belong to you, send it back to who it belongs to. Because you know what I'm saying? People, they bad about that. My dad called me today and he was talking about, his wife and all the craziness that they got going on. And I just was like, I was trying to explain to him something and he didn't understand where I was coming from because he old school. He was telling me a story about his wife. And I just was like, Dad, that's exactly what I'm referring to when I made the statement at the beginning of the conversation. And he was like, oh, okay. Made that circle. I see you now. So when he realized what I was saying, that was me learning to vocalize how I feel. Because the old me would have been like, yeah, man, I hope y'all get it together. I hope things get better for y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That same cycle, bro. Nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Had to make that move.
But hey, bro, we appreciate you coming on the call, man. We going over our time limit, man. We're gonna close it up, man. Appreciate you, dog.
Y'all keep doing what y'all do. I'm following the movement.
Friend of the show.
All right, man. So we went over our time limit, yo. But we appreciate everybody comments. We appreciate everybody chiming in. Episode 2, it was a success.
No doubt. Let's be clear, man. Signing out.
Bow.